Do you know that exercise can help people suffering from trauma? And at the same time, are you feeling sick and tired to hear your doctor telling you you need to do more exercise? Today, I have a special guest for you. Salut, I'm Valérie, and I overcame my complex PTSD. Today, I have a special guest, Amber Wise. She is a certified trainer, personal trainer. She is also from Fit Ladies and have a certified precision nutrition. So, hi, Amber.
Hi, Valerie.
How are you doing today?
I am great. Better than you. I hear it's cold there.
Yes, it is. So do you want to tell us a bit more about your story, because you overcome a lot of things in your life?
It begins when I'm 2 years old, so I won't make it a long story, I promise. But at 2 years old, I was actually diagnosed with cerebral palsy, which is where the brain cells, specific brain cells in your body, are they're dead, and so they cannot control the parts of your body that they're supposed to control. So at 2 years old, this was very grim for my family to hear. My parents were told that I would never run, I would never ride a bicycle, I would never swim, that I wouldn't have a quote unquote normal life. Looking back, I'm like, what is a normal life anyway these days? Yeah. However, so I was, for most of my childhood, that's how I grew up, very sheltered. Didn't think I could move my body much. I kind of sat on the sidelines while other kids played. I got picked on a lot at school. Kids can be very mean when you're different. So I remember one day, yes. So I remember one day, Valerie, coming home from school. I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, and I was crying, and my sister was like, what is wrong? And I was like, oh, the kids at school, they're calling me all of these mean names. They're calling me a freak and a crippled, and I just feel so, and I didn't know at the time, but there was a lot of shame. You know, there was a lot of shame associated with just my being. You know, I just felt so shameful to just be alive. And so it was
at 9 years old.
Yes. And so, but you know, it was one of these wonderful God moments where my sister took me. She's a year and a half older than me. So she was like 11, and she took me by the shoulders and she said, Amber, you are normal. You can do normal things. Do not listen to those kids. Do not even listen to our parents. And I was like, okay, like that was my goal. That was my dream, Valerie, like just to be normal. Like I just wanted people to not stare at me when I walked in the store. You know, I wanted kids not to snicker behind my back when I would walk across the classroom, you know? So I wanted to hear that so badly that I believed her. I didn't know anything about cerebral palsy at the time. And so she put me on a bicycle and she started teaching me to ride a bike. And I learned to ride a bicycle. And then I started running, and I would fall down so much, Valerie, because my foot would just kind of trip me up because I didn't have that much control over the foot. But I just kept trying. I'd fall down. I said, so what? The kids at the playground are pushing me down anyway. Like I might as well learn something from the pain, right?
So you really had a chance to have your sister she's amazing. And also you kind of did a complete mindset shift at that point.
Yes. Yes. And so that is how I got into the fitness industry, actually, because of going through that. And when I started moving my body, Valerie, and I unfortunately had much more trauma later on in life, but when I started moving my body and I could just feel like I had control over something, you know?
Yes.
And I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to fit in. It started as wanting to fit in, but then I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to be noticed, you know?
That's great.
And so I ended up running a half marathon, competing in several triathlons. And then I have 4 kids total now, 4 children total, ages 21 down to 2 years old. But I ended up having to go through a divorce as an adult. And, you know, so if you have past trauma, and so I had this like shame over having cerebral palsy, even though it was not my fault, there was nothing for me to feel shame for. But as a child, you're very easily.
You're vulnerable as a child.
Very, yes, exactly. And so when I'm going through this divorce, all of those old feelings come back.
Okay.
All of the time I've spent working on my mindset and working on my body and trying to see myself as different, it starts coming back. And there was a time where I didn't know, I didn't want to go on. I lost my husband, who at that time to me signaled normalcy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've always been after. I just want to be normal. Now I don't want to be normal, but then I wanted to be normal. I wanted to be seen. I'm like, if someone married me, then maybe I'm normal. And you don't know you're thinking these thoughts when you're thinking them, but that's where I was. I was like, I've proven that I'm worthy of love
So,
because someone married me.
yeah, so how did you overcome that period of your life that was so hard and painful and bringing all those memory back? I'm sure you did something because you're not in that state of mind anymore. So what is your
Right.
secret?
Yeah. So there was a couple of things. One is just becoming aware of those thoughts. And then I believe that moving your body, exercise and movement play such a crucial role to take your life to another level. I believe that. That's why I have Fit Ladies Boot Camp now, because it's not about just the weight loss. It's about when you move your body, you're telling your brain that you're ready for more. You're telling your brain that you are strong. You're telling your brain that you can handle hard things. And there's a confidence that comes with that. And it's not like, Valerie, we can't just do a workout right now and then bam, we're going to be a different person. It's
No.
not like that. I wish, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it takes some time. And so but I started working out. And I started working out because it was the one thing that I felt like I really could control. Because I'm going through a divorce. I don't have money because I was the stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be with my children. I have all this debt from my husband who liked to spend money. And I just felt out of control. Like, here I am, no career, no real plan for my children. My husband's gone. What do I do? And there was a lot of other stuff in recreating my life. I took several jobs and I paid off debt and I found a new career and all of those great things. And I volunteered a lot and I just kept myself very busy. But I can honestly say at the core of it, I don't think I would have had the strength to do any of those things had I not been moving my body, had I not been working out, because there's so much to working out and how it can just completely change your life. Like, I believe that exercise can absolutely change your life.
When did you decide to become a personal trainer?
And so what happened, I went through that divorce and I started working out. I started, wanting to compete in bodybuilding. So I'm lifting weights and I'm spending hours in the gym. And I have all of these people that are coming to me and they're like, wow, your body is different. You don't even notice your limp or your cerebral palsy anymore. Like, it's just a miraculous, like, train me. And so I start helping people. And I'm doing this all without any kind of certification, just because people wanted me to help them. So I was helping them in my spare time. It wasn't like for a profit thing. I just wanted to help people because I believe in the power of movement so much. And so I ended up getting remarried. And when I got remarried, instantly I found out I was pregnant. And so when I started gaining a lot of weight back, and I couldn't work out anymore. So I went from spending 2 to 3 hours in the gym to, if I walked down the street and back, I was physically ill for 3 days. And yeah, so it was a really rough time for someone who had almost made working out like her God. And so I gained a lot of weight for this pregnancy, and I developed a condition called hypothyroidism. And so once I had the baby, I couldn't lose the weight. And at this point, I'm doing this as a career. I'm helping people through supplementation and nutrition, but I didn't feel comfortable teaching anyone about workouts because I had all this extra weight on me. And so I went ahead and I got my certification at that time. And I started offering free workouts for other moms, that they could come meet me once a week in the park and they could let their babies play or sit on a blanket and we all worked out together. And because I was certified and because I was giving this training to anyone who showed up, then I got to be very popular. And so I started training a lot of women one-on-one. And so that was great. It was rewarding, but it was very time consuming. And so I said, there's got to be a way. And I have friends all over the world. And so all of my friends were like, I wish you were here. I want to work out with you too. And so I created an online group. And so that was a little bit over a year ago. So
I'm just imagining how rewarding it would be for those moms to go in the park with you and pass, I don't know how long, but having their young kids or toddler or babies playing there and be able to do some exercise for themselves. That must be awesome.
I've had several women, Valerie, tell me that it's changed their life. And yeah, and these workouts are quick. So it's 20-minute workouts. That's what I believe in now that I have a baby. I have a 2-year-old running around. I just don't want to spend my life in the gym, but I know the power of workouts. And so I started creating these 20-minute workouts that are very unique. And I created this group of women to just empower you, because I think that sometimes, probably right now more than ever, you can feel alone. You can feel like your problems are only your problems and other people can't feel them or relate to them. And I just think there's something powerful about having a community of support, but also those workouts, again, going back to those workouts, because when we work out, when we move our body, there's so much science behind working out and better brain development.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a bit more about those benefits of those 20 minutes workout?
Yes. So I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and I try to let them know the benefits of working out even 20 minutes a day. And so a few of the benefits are your focus gets better. So we as humans, we have a really hard time focusing on one thing at a time because there's always these other things vying for our attention. And so women especially tend to wear more than one hat, in no matter what those other hats are, but we all tend to be very busy. And so focus is something that we sometimes, if we're not careful, can start lacking. But there's been science to show that as we work out, as we move our bodies, even 20 minutes a day, then our focus improves. Not only that, but our memory actually improves. There, again, more studies have been shown that our brain is developed so much that our brain can constantly develop. We didn't used to know this. It used to be your brain was your brain, but now we're finding that your brain is constantly developing, constantly evolving, and workouts and movements can do so many things. It boosts your creativity by, I think a Stanford study showed 60%. It boosts your memory. It boosts your focus. It boosts your creativity. People like Beethoven and I can't think of anyone else's name right now. My notes are not nearby me, but some of the greats
That is
in the
just
creativity
amazing.
world. Yes. So it's been, there's a lot. There's a book called Spark, The Science of Exercise in the Brain. And that will show you that as you do more workouts, as you move your body more, your brain can actually learn quicker and learn faster. In fact, there's a strong correlation, according to the Department of Education in California, that says high physical fitness scores in the school are always correlated with high educational scores. So there's something to moving your body to improve your brain.
So this is really amazing because people that suffer from trauma, I remember when I was in that state of suffering, I was wanting to stay on the couch and I was lacking focus, I was lacking energy, I had no concentration, no creativity, and no memories. Yes, I had some memories of some flashback coming back, but I had no control over my memories. I was feeling that somebody tell me something and I already forgot it. So it's all things that can improve because of the exercise, and in only 20 minutes a day. That is just incredible.
Yes. And, we used to think it was much longer. And so that would be overwhelming. But all of the research is now showing that 20 minutes a day can do so much for your brain. It can do so much for your mood. It can definitely do so much for your energy levels. And so I know that when you're in a situation of trauma, when you're in a situation of just anxiety and stress and maybe depression even, the hardest thing to do is to get off the couch. The
Yes.
hardest thing to do is get out of the bed.
So do you have some tips or an advice or something to how take that step? How to pass from being on the couch or in the bed to do, I don't know, 5 minutes of exercise first and later 20 minutes, or start with the 20 minutes, or start with a special type of exercise?
Yes, so I am a huge believer in high intensity interval training. I think that if you can do little bursts of things, but when you're in that lowest of lowest state, there's two kinds of people I find. And I've helped thousands of people. And so there's two kinds of people. The one kind of person says, I need slow and steady. I need you to kind of give me baby steps. And then there's the kind of person who says, if I don't go all in, I'm not going to do anything at all. And so there's two bits of advice there. If you're the person who is like on the couch, really having a hard time, and I've been there, so absolutely no judgment there, but really having a hard time doing the first step, this is what I say. Everyone has to use the restroom, right? When you go to the restroom, do 5 squats. Run or in place or march for 30 seconds. Start incorporating small movements, and then, hey, you can go back to the couch and be sad, but can we just do something? Can we move our body some to start us on that road? And that's not going to keep us. We want to keep increasing it day by day, right? But at least it gets you going and it gets you started, and you'll feel something different. You'll feel something in your heart. You'll feel something in your brain from just those 30 seconds. And that can be very encouraging for you to take another 30 seconds. And maybe you work up to 5 minutes a day. And so baby steps are good for some people. And then some people just need to go all out. And I personally believe in joining a community. That's why I created my community. But you can also get a YouTube video and then just do an intense 20-minute workout. You can find on YouTube, you can find on Instagram, you can find on Google. Like, there's so many places to find free workouts that it's just endless. And so you can definitely find good workouts. I personally think somebody should be in a program, especially if you're dealing with trauma. I think if you're in a program that you have support and consistency, and you have it mapped out day by day what to do, I think that there's that decision fatigue. Yes. That decreases because you don't have to figure it out. You just get up and do whatever the instructor in the group says.
Wow. You know what it's remind me? When my husband did his boot camp, because he is veteran. So, and we use that technique also with our teenager. Like when you go in the garage to pick something in the freezer, they need to do some pull-ups. And when they go somewhere else in the house, near a fridge, for example, they need to do some push-up before opening the fridge.
I love that.
That's remind me of that.
Yes, I love that. What a neat way to incorporate little things in.
Yeah. So you talk a lot about your community. We will put the link to your community under this video. So yeah, do you want to just tell the link here and then the name of your community so people can connect with you?
Yeah, so you can find me a couple of different ways. My website is Fit Ladies Bootcamp. So all one word, fitladiesbootcamp.com. And so there you can enroll in the program if you want to. You can also find me on Instagram at Wise Fit Life. And you can also find me on Facebook. My name is Amber Wise, or you can find my page, my business page, which is Fit Ladies. So that is how you find me in all the places.
That is amazing. You gave us so much value today, and your journey is just kind of, you have overcome so many things. You're an incredible person. You are wonderful, you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Valerie. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for having me.
That's a pleasure. So please reach to Amber Wise with the link below. And if you want to know more techniques about how to overcome your PTSD, watch the next video.